Yeah, looks like they back for a fifth season, man.
Who that?
Sports Roundtable.
Who?
SRT Crew.
Whoa.
SRT, they got that realness flowing in they DNA. Damn you lame if you ain't tuned to SRT today. HO got that payload when he say so, what you betting on? Don't get mad at me on fantasy, break up Kyrie LeBron. I be smooth as sports superhero Hancock in the mix. Deal with roll tide forever, real talk, you know who he gon' pick. See where I be with SRT, behind the glass, that G-Money. They with a strong, I never lose, 6-man elite, that's J Smooth.
All you other sports radio shows is fake news. Believe that. Turn up your radios, cause it's time for SRT Radio. Yeah.
What up? It's Sports Roundtable, yes sir, and we are live from our virtual studios overlooking the digital world. It is another episode. It's Happy SRT Wednesday, another episode of Sports and Entertainment as we are in here, episode 482. 482, ladies and gentlemen, 482. Coach, do you have anything for the number 482 just to get it started?
I think I'm gonna use what I got in my hand 482 times on these two gentlemen right here, because I see they starting some. I got something new for y'all today. See, I changed up, so I was prepared for this little diatribe that came out. So any extra, we gonna let somebody have it. My buddy taking a break there, so his friend is here. So y'all may want to.
Coach, what was that? Thesaurus word you said? Diatribe.
Yes, sir. Diatribe. That's my thesaurus word for today.
Oh,
I see. Coach going deep into the thesaurus today to give y'all gentlemen some education and some vocabulary. Man, we got a great show. I'm your humble host, H.O. from Bankhead. And as you can see, we 4-man strong today. We're running a 4-man weave. Yes, sir. We got my main man, Bowling. Bob is at the top, man. What's going on, Bob?
It's great to be with you guys. I missed hanging out with you. Been in the chat, but have been a little bit too busy. But I locked this in last week. I said I got to hang out with you guys and talk some Braves for sure.
There you go. And the reason I like having you on as well, because your sports knowledge does extend past baseball, and you have some great insights on some basketball and football. So
there's a lot of that going on. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And down at the bottom, and who's hopefully giving the Braves good luck with the Braves shirt on, Mr. Asa Brown is in the building. What's up, bro?
What's going on, gentlemen? I heard it was Braves night, so I had to go back in the closet, get out the Braves. Got the 5K joint going on. You know what I mean? So
okay, so you got that one for free, huh?
No, I earned this one too. I earned all my. I earned all my shirts, HO. I earned them all.
Ain't that bad luck right there? He got the 5K shirt on. Is that how many times the Braves gonna strike out tonight? I mean, come on.
They don't give you those. They don't give you those shirts for walking to the mailbox every day. Let me tell you.
Nah. Hey, the 5 losses though might account for the dreams. So I might have the wrong shirt on. I don't know.
Oh Lord. Oh gosh. Don't talk about them. Leave them alone.
Yeah, it's just something going on in Atlanta. Did the World Cup jinx us or something?
I think so, man. I think so.
All right, down at the bottom left underneath me is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, number 1 fan.
Yes, sir.
And he's Reggie Jackson's number 1 fan.
Yes, sir.
And his college basketball team will lose to Duke 2 or 3 times this year. Mr. Coach is in the building. What's up, Coach?
Oh Lord, you brought that up. I'm not gonna be say anything about that. It's not time for that yet. But I know it was a beautiful day today. Wasn't it a nice color for the sky the other day? Didn't it look Carolina blue? It wasn't dark outside. I know that. Yes, sir.
The only words I got for you, Coach, is boom say. Just remember that name.
Yeah, I saw him And I'm scared to hear the name Colton Hillard.
Yeah, he coming too.
I'm scared.
His crystal ball is up to 80% right now.
Yeah, boy.
So you better hope they don't win the state next year. Because if they do, he's reclassifying.
Yes, sir.
So
coming back.
Absolutely. Well, fellas, we got a great show for you tonight. We got some hot news. We actually have a Braves report around 7:30. This might be the quickest Braves report we ever had, but we got to do it, and we'll see. And we got to talk NBA trades. LeBron is floating around, is not in a hurry, but we'll see where he's going as well. Also, the NBA Summer League. We got E-Dub coming on to talk about the Atlanta Hawks. So we'll see what he thinks about the Hawks draft in the NBA Summer League, and what you guys think about these rookies that's coming out this year, and we got a lot to talk about. And also our roundtable discussion, we're going to dive deep into Jaylen Brown versus the media. He has been, it was at one point in time, it was a good thing that Japan pushed you to be a smart kid. All of a sudden now it's a bad thing to be a smart kid. I don't know, and I don't understand what is the big deal and all this media talk and this and that. But Baller, Busters, and Boy Stop, I'm sure we got some talk about that because it is some media personalities that will be in Baller, Busters, and Boy Stop, believe it or not. So stay tuned, enjoy episode 482. But before we go on, we do have a question of the day. We got two questions of the day. My first question of the day, since this is A-Town, who has the most iconic hat? The Atlanta A, the Chicago White Sox black hat, the LA Dodgers blue hat, or the New York Yankees blue hat? You can rank them, or you can just tell me which one is the most iconic in your opinion?
You missed one in my opinion, but I'm gonna add it in.
The LA Kings?
No.
Oh, the Detroit Tigers?
Them boys on the south side of Chicago.
I said the White Sox. I said that second.
You said, I mean, north side is. I thought the north side of Chicago, the Cubs.
Yeah, but ain't nobody wearing no Cubs hat, bro. I'm sorry. I got it like the Yankees, the Dodgers, Atlanta, and the White Sox. I've never seen anybody wear a Cubs hat other than in Chicago.
They're the second biggest market, third biggest market. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm with you though. I see where you're going with it. I see where you're going with it.
It's the hat. It's the hat. Bob, you want to take a stab at it first?
Yeah, for me, I mean, iconic hats. I mean, are we limiting that to baseball only? I mean,
no. I mean, you can.
I mean,
or other.
I'll tell you what the iconic hat was when I was younger, and the Raiders. I mean, that was a huge hat, back in the day, baseball, obviously, it's the Yankees. I mean, that's the legacy of the team. I feel like that's probably got the most hats out there. I'm kind of liking this new City Connect Braves one. I love that the lowercase a logo. It's one of my favorites, but I mean, I don't think it's iconic by any means. I definitely think that Yankees, Red Sox, but I mean, yeah, we're talking all around sports. I mean, you definitely got to put the Raiders on there. That was that was a big hat back in the day.
All right, Coach, what you got?
I'm going with. I unfortunately have to agree with Bob because you look at NWA during their heyday, they made all the Raider to get popular like big time. Everything those black hats were everywhere.
Anything black, right? Yep.
Yeah, and then they wore those LA even had LA Kings hats on.
Mm-hmm. That's what I had on my
They went all out and said, "Hey."
Okay. Did we leave the Oakland A's hat out? I mean, shouldn't they get a bit of a nod or
they only had them I'm gonna mention them, but for a different reason. But they only had them green and yellow hats. You know what I mean? And it was kind of hard to mess around with them two colors.
Only thing about the A's, the A's had them nice white uniforms that I like.
All right, Ace, so what you got?
So when I was growing up, baseball hats wore all the time, but I always wore hats that had my initial. So the Red Sox with Boston, anything with B, anything with A, right? That's why I know that Oakland A's was hard to match because of that green and yellow was hard to match. But the Angels, I could put down, things of that nature. But as far as your list of hats that you name, in no particular order, but I'm gonna go Yankees, I'm gonna go Braves, I'm gonna go to Kings, LA Kings. But I think all them black hats worked, right? Kings, Raiders, anything black because of NWA. And then I think another hat, I mentioned Chicago, but I think the people forgot about the Astros. That hat with that A in the middle, not the new one, not the second one they did, but the old school one when they had the bold letters, the bold colors, the orange and brown and white, and they had that hat went stupid too. But I was looking at hats you could put on, and everybody knows exactly what the hat is, right? When you put a certain hat on, everybody knows what it is. There's no question about who is that or whatever. So I think baseball has those. Baseball has that probably on a lot more than any other sport.
I continue to agree. All right, before we go any further, we got to say what's up to our tenants. The VP is in the building. What's up, fella? VP is in the building. We see you. You say smash the like button and share with the world. Ace has either been working out or it sure has.
Hey, a little bit of both, B. A little bit of both, baby. I had to get ready for this 10K. A little bit of both.
Yeah. There you go, Coach.
Yeah, he been in everybody's game. Yeah. Uncle T been down here too much.
All right, the late great John Thompson tried to tell y'all you don't want intelligent ball players. Yeah, I agree. He did say that.
In those words too. He didn't beat around the bush.
He did. Atlanta A for us Southerners, the hip hop community represent A very well, absolutely. Most would say Yankees with Jay-Z alone help propel them into the stratosphere.
Some of the hats that I found that I used to wear that I own, that for the Braves hat were ones that weren't necessarily mainstream, that you found on like Fanatics or anything like that I would see Jermaine Dupri wear. And, that's how I ended up liking them, but you always had to find them, just randomly on the web somewhere. Yeah. They weren't available to the public.
The old mascot ones, all those,
yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes, sir. What's up, Dez? Welcome back, bro. I hope all is well with you, Dez. And VP said he agreed the Raiders hat is hot. NWA made the Raiders hat the bum diggity, black and silver color combo, and yeah, I agree.
And then HO, if you had the hat.
Oh yeah, Dad's bringing up a good point about the Miami and the U hat.
Yeah, well,
yeah, that may now I would say that may be the most underrated hat or cap.
Yeah.
Of all time.
He right on that one. Yep. But I will say you mentioned the hats. That also meant you need to have the jacket too.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, but the bars in the hood to come get you, you got both of them on. You might need to slow your roll with that one. Yeah. Yeah, it is too small.
Yeah, the Raiders jacket really wasn't that popular up, at least in the Washington area. You know what was really popular back in my high school days was actually the Charlotte Hornets starter jacket. Was like the big thing back when I was in high school.
That's why I mentioned the jacket, because then you mention the jacket, now you got to slide into the NBA.
Yeah, those starter jackets, them windbreakers, those were the it thing when I was in high school.
Yeah, I don't know how purple and whatever
it was the ugliest thing in the world. Now that you look at it
the
now,
most popular thing in the world. The two colors, purple and whatever that color Charlotte got.
That one, and then the old Toronto Raptors dinosaur one was really popular too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
it was fire, man. I agree with you. It's one of the coolest starter jackets out there.
All right, fella, let's go ahead and jump into this.
Yeah, teal. That's what color.
Hot news.
Hot news.
Oh, that's
Hot news.
The wrong one. There we go.
Blazing. Hot. Scorching. On fire. Red hot. This is why I'm hot. It's the Sports Roundtable Hot News.
Yes, sir. It is the Sports Roundtable Hot News sponsored by, you already know, the Big Easy Grill, 1193 Collier Road, Atlanta, Georgia. Big Easy Grill, the best Louisiana seafood in town. 2 bites to get rid of 1 shrimp. You got them crab claws to start you off. A big old shrimp basket with some fries, and we'll top it off with some beignets with a side order, the red beans and rice, and wash it down with a little Arnold Palmer. How about that? Mention Sports Roundtable, SRT, get your discount. Any meal, $25 or more. All right, Bob, we're talking about the NBA trades. We dapped on it last week just a little bit, but your thoughts on the NBA trades that's been going on and going around, and what's popping your eye in the trades or free agency? It doesn't even matter.
It's been a crazy off season. We early into it too. This is been as fun. Been a fun trade session that I've seen a long time in the NBA. But it's clear, again, people realizing that the window's closing on their championship opportunities. So quickly trying to partner up again and recreate the big three, strategy in the NBA. So far to me, I think the big early winner is, Philly killing it. I've loved just about every move that they've made. It's one of those, deals with them is, can they stay healthy? That's always been the case with Philly, but, getting rid of
healthy.
Yeah, exactly. We all know who I'm talking about, but that's, and the problem was he was the catalyst of that team, for so long that one injury took him down. Now you got the youth, you bring in the veterans, so he's not as needed as he was. But if he does stay healthy, that team could be something to watch. You got to see improvement from VJ Edgecombe. A continued, up in his second year to see how it goes. But I kind of think Philly. Obviously, I'm interested to see where LeBron goes. My hope is Cleveland. I'd really like to see him end it where it all began. It makes the most sense. They're you look at it, even going into free agency, that team makes the most sense for him to go to. It's a team that's kind of missing one piece, and he could be that piece, So, I do think there's a reason that those, that they are on the short list for him, and I do think that that's where he's going to end up. I don't think that Golden State is where he wants his legacy to end with, hey, I went there just because it was the easiest route to an NBA title. But yeah, I just loved it. Again, a lot of moves that made sense. I really think that not just trades but free agency too. I would like, if I'm not sure if that's happened or not yet, but Kawhi going back to the Raptors is a great move too. I think that that worked out so well for them, obviously the last time around, and I think that he'll be appreciated more in Toronto. So, but yeah, it's been an absolutely crazy whirlwind, especially in the last 3 weeks, just been one after the other. And like I said, I just think you're starting to see where teams realize again that 2's not enough. We got to have 3.
All right, Asa, I'm gonna let you go next, but I'm gonna preface it with this. Does Donovan mention signing a max deal affect LeBron going to Cleveland? And then I'm gonna let you go.
It shouldn't, but it might. But I think LeBron understands he's not getting top dollar anymore. So I'm going to lean with it should affect it, but in a positive way. It should let it be known if he want to spend his last 2 years in a place that has a chance to win a championship, Cleveland signing Donovan Mitchell long term gives you that piece.
All right. Yeah.
So it should, but in a positive way. I think he was taking the most. I think he was taking the most money in LA because he didn't believe in LA putting a team together. So he was taking the most money or all the money in LA. But I believe now if he wants to go out with one more ring, then he needs to be assured that that team is doing its best to get there. And by signing Donovan long term, it helps that thought process.
All right, Coach, I'm gonna ask you the same question. Your thoughts and your surprises for free agency or trades, and then I'm gonna throw in this: Is another ring? Is Bron chasing another ring, or is trying to improve his legacy, or is already stamped and he's just trying to figure out his next move after basketball?
Everybody loves to talk about LeBron chasing rings and everything. Okay, that's cute, but I mean, the man deserves to do what he wants to do. Personally, I think he should retire because I don't think he has anything left to prove to anybody. But he wants to keep playing. So I hope he don't go to Golden State because I told you what's going to be what they're going to change. They have to change all the music. And all you're going to hear him coming on the court when that team coming on the court with all them savvy veterans, all you're going to hear is doing, thank you for being a friend. You're going to hear the Golden Girls music playing. So that Requiem for the Old. So, hey, man, go on to Philly. Don't go Cleveland. If you're going to Cleveland, you can't play another year because that's where it's going to end. Go on to Philly and see what you can do. And if you don't win another title, whoopee. You got guys out there who've been playing a long time that they say they're so great and haven't done anything. So, do what you got. Do what you want to do, LeBron. It's your thing. Do what you want to do. I can't tell you who to sock it to. Go ahead.
All right. Now.
Okay, Missy Elliott.
Draymond declined. Draymond declined a $27.7 million player option to create more room or more money for who?
His podcast buddy.
Interesting.
I mean,
so let's talk about that.
Well, before you can be
is an unrestricted free agent now.
Ho, in order to, you got to believe something can happen before anybody else can believe it, right? So in Draymond's mind, I'm going to go ahead and assume in Steph Curry's mind and in the Warriors' mind, they have another chance for the for a championship. And that's all good if that's what they think in their mind. Well, we all know with or without LeBron, they have a ceiling, first round, maybe second. They're no different than what LA was last year if they add LeBron. So they're not better than San Antonio. They're not better than OKC. They're not. I'll be honest with you. I don't think they're better than Denver. So and then anybody that's in that fourth team, anybody that's young and hot for next year, whoever that may be. I don't think they're better than any of those teams when it comes to playoff time. They might look good during the regular season, night in, night out, have time off, days to rest or whatever. They might be able to win more games than what is expected. But when you get into a 7-game series, they're no better than the second round if LeBron decides to go to Golden State.
All right, all right. I'm gonna pose this question real quick before you go, Bob. Which do you think is most important to LeBron? Winning the 5th ring or playing 25 years in the NBA?
Having
next year 24. Then
25 years and to be able to have his own Last Dance type movie in 10 years from now. That's why it has to end in Cleveland.
I agree.
He's done everything he's done his whole career. His fault, or whether it's his fault or on purpose, he's done to try to chase this ghost called MJ. His whole career. And the last thing left to do, the only thing he didn't do was leave and go play baseball. But the last thing that he needs to go do is to have a movie to come out 10 years from now on The Last Dance or similar to it. And the only way that can happen is if he ends it in Cleveland. And the only people that are going to give him a 2 year is going to be Cleveland. Going to give him a 2 year.
Yeah, I just think, that I don't think that if he hadn't won the championship in Cleveland before, I don't think he would go back to finish this, because the pressure for him to bring one to them would just be something I don't think that he would want to get involved in. But there's no pressure this time. Now he just gets to end it where it all started. It makes the most sense. I mean, if it's I want to play with my buddies, maybe that's Philly. I don't think Golden State is it for him. I think Golden State has a better shot at DeMar DeRozan than they do than they do with LeBron. But it is again, it just with no pressure, the ability to finish it where it started. The place you're the most beloved. I mean, the Lakers fans. I mean, they never love LeBron like the Cleveland fans do. I mean, that's that they just hold a special place in his heart, and it does when that's where where you began your career. It's just the story is better for the movie that's going to come out in 10 years if you finish your career in Cleveland, like Asa was saying. I mean, it just makes that story better when you tell it later on in life.
I agree with you, obviously, because you agree with me, Bob. But I disagree with the one thing about the pressure of winning a championship. He got to win. He got to come close to winning one his last 2 years in Cleveland because of who they have. They have Spider. They have Harden. They have somewhat of a pretty good front court. The East is technically still the weaker of the two conferences, right? So the pressure is on him if he goes, no matter where he goes. But if he goes to Cleveland, I think people understand that Cleveland is the place to go for all those reasons that me and you said. But the best place to get a championship is at Cleveland. He's not getting one in Golden State. He's not getting one in.
Whoa. Did you just say James Harden anywhere near a championship? I know you didn't say James Harden.
Okay. How many he got, Coach?
That would make this championship even more sweeter if he was to get it in Cleveland.
I agree.
With Harden there. Even more sweeter. That would give all the LeBron lovers the ammunition they need. And he won one with James Harden.
The pressure this time around, though, the only thing I disagree with you, Asa, the pressure this time around is on Spider. Spider's the leader of that team. LeBron ain't going to be leader of that team. He's coming in to be a role player. This age, again, we know what he is. Obviously everybody knows who he is, but he ain't Spider's level now. I mean, Spider's above his level. So that I think that puts more pressure on him, and a heck of a lot more pressure on James Harden to finally win one. There ain't no more excuses.
I can get on that bus, but to coaches, yeah, Harden is on that team. Or to your point, Bob, again, Spider hasn't been able to get out of the second round, right? So all the advantages for LeBron are there in Cleveland because he can add those feathers to his cap. I got Harden, I got Spider. Even if he gets to the championship round and loses, he can still put that feather in his cap and I got them over the hump.
They're one piece away. He's the one piece that I if he goes to Cleveland, they are so far my favorite for next year. I think I put him above the 76ers as my favorite.
And HO, you always say the NBA. You say the NBA is scripted, right? You always
it has its narrative. It has a narrative.
And what more narrative than the NBA has to have than him going to Cleveland and getting to a championship round? What more narrative does the NBA have to have? You can't write this story any better.
What about him and lazy Joel Embiid? Wouldn't that be kind of the same thing, getting him to a championship?
It ain't getting back with your first love.
And Philly ain't one piece away. Philly's there now. Philly made their moves to get them to where they are now. He would just
when you write a movie, coach, and you either got to get the girl or you lose the girl. Cleveland gives you both of those if he goes there. He lost. He was with the girl. He left the girl. And now he's going back to get the girl.
Yeah, but
with all that being said, fellas, the Braves are 0-0. Bottom of the, I can't see that far, but it is now time for the Braves report with Mr. Bobby Lancaster.
We should beat Pittsburgh this weekend. A couple days, hopefully.
Yeah, right, so, you see that game last night?
my first question, Bob, is what adjective can we use for the Braves? Is it spiraling? Is it collapsing? Is it some words that we just can't say? Is there any adjective that we can use right now?
Expected. We so overperformed at the beginning of the year with basically essentially no left side hitting whatsoever on the field. We're talking third base, shortstop, outfield, left field, nothing. So we overperformed and we got a lead because the Philadelphia Phillies were so underperforming that we were able to jump to a lead. Nobody that doesn't know baseball thought that the Phillies were going to continue the way they were. The Mets, we know what the Mets are. They're a disaster in the clubhouse and they're not going to be anywhere near. But I mean, look at the product on the field for the Braves. I mean, we're running with a bunch of journeymen here. We've got an outfield that, is makeshift again because of injuries. Michael Harris, fantastic job so far, but we were literally carried by Ozzie Albies, Matt Olson, and Drake Baldwin for a little period of time before he got hurt. But other than that, I mean, and an incredible bullpen. I definitely got to shout out the especially the 7th, 8th, and 9th, unstoppable at the for basically 2/3 of the first half of the season. So, but we are where we are. I mean, again, we're running Austin Riley out there every day, who is now the first person to ever go 6 straight seasons now with his OBS and numbers going down, and then Hyesung Kim, who's been an absolute disaster for us. What a horrible pickup he's been. Now we're running Jim Jarvis out there every week. That ought to tell you the whole story right now. Starting pitching is a disaster. I mean, how many starters have we already used this year? It's something that my frustration level with AA and how he handles the pitching staff, the starting pitching staff, is just ridiculous. Again, they're relying on, 5 and 6 innings and then letting the bullpen eat it up. But it's not happening. We're not getting those 5 or 6 innings. And now, we keep shuffling Carlos Carrasco through waivers every week just to get basically an extra guy on our roster. And, again, if you're trotting out Carlos Carrasco to hopefully get innings for you, I mean, yeah, we're getting healthier, but I mean, is the fact that these guys are pitching 7, 8 innings in AAA, but then coming up here and getting 4 or 5, is that the reason that we're running into so many arm injuries with the starting staff? You got to start asking questions. I mean, it's not, something not adding up here with our health, with our injuries. We've got a lot of decisions to make here, singing with money, and at this point, the biggest question we got to be asking ourselves, not only as fans, but as the front office as well, is what's Acuna worth? I mean, what is he really worth? Because someone's going to give him 300, 400 million. Let's not kid ourselves. Someone's going to make that offer. Are we willing to match that just to keep a guy? Does he give us the hometown discount just because he has said many times this is where he wants to finish career? I heard that the same thing for Freddie Freeman. I heard the same thing from that with Max Fried. They don't play here no more, and so, I just, again, when it comes to that time, we're going to shell out the money, but we've got to make some moves. We've moved up. I just looked today, we're now up to number 14 with our farm system in Baseball America, which is fantastic considering that, 2 years ago we were at the very bottom. So, we're again building up that farm system. So we have the prospects now. And so if we're going to go for it, we got to go for it now. I mean, because this is the time. You've got a lot of losing teams with players that are now available early on, but it's just so hard to make moves in baseball now because so many teams are still into it because of the wild card situations.
All right, Asa, what you got?
I got a question for you, Bob, because I hear what you're saying, but I got 2 different meanings out of what you said, so I want to be clear.
Yeah, what you got?
If you go all, because you and you lost me. Now I won't see lost me, but my question is, if you're saying the farm system is building up, right? Which is a good thing.
It is a great thing.
Are you then going to go ahead and sacrifice this year? Because if you decide to go for it this year and go at the trade deadline and get a bat or get a arm, they're going to want some of that farm system.
Absolutely. I'm
asking you, or as a fan, then should we be ready to go ahead and not be surprised if upper management sits on its laurels this year because of what they got going on in the farm system? And if that's the case, then I'm happy, but they need to make that known, though.
But you have to understand, Alex Anthopoulos' history. He doesn't have a history from trading within the farm system. He's always been one of those guys where, when he does make a move, it's a very minor move that, you look at when we won the World Series, the moves that they made, they probably cost us like a guy that was 50 or 60th in our prospects, but now, it just depends how, what kind of commitment you're going to make. You got to figure if you go, after Skubal, that's going to cost you 3 of your top prospects plus one of those guys that's in the big leagues, whether that's the soon-to-be returning. We got Herschel Waldrop. He's returned, obviously. And then you got, what's his name? I'm spacing last name, but another young pitcher that we are, AJ. Smith Shawver.
Smith Shawver.
Yeah, so AJ, so you've got some major league talent that you could let go of too. But that's I guess that's the big question, Asa. What are they? What are they want? Are you willing to punt this season because it isn't going very well, despite the fact that you're at the top of the standings? But again, this was not sustainable. I mean, again, we had so much overperforming, but it was not a sustainable way for us to continue to win that division when the Phillies have the lineup that they do, the stars that they do. I mean, those guys were going to figure it out, and so, and pitching better starting level pitching than we do. So, it just, what are you committed to do? But the other thing you got to realize too is just because we're 14th, we have the 14th best farm system in baseball now. That ain't at the AAA level. I mean, right now, the Rome Braves are probably one of the best versions of the Rome Braves I've seen in a long time. I mean, we are stacked in Rome. That's single A. I mean, I think Hartman, he's our best, most major league ready guy, and I do think that he's a guy that gets called up before the season. I think they'll do with him like they did with Michael Harris, hoping that we got a spark within our own system, and as instead of having to make one deal where it collapses our farm system. I don't think they're going to collapse the farm system, but it just gives us a few players to make moves if we want to do. But number one thing I don't like is when you move people the deadline for people that are free agents at the end of the year, because those guys that you're usually normally going to get that are big stars, free agents at the year, the Braves don't ever sign guys like that. That's why I keep talking about Skubal so much, is like they wouldn't even give money to Max Fried. What makes you think Skubal's he's older? What makes you think that they're going to give a long-term contract to Tariq Skubal? So whatever you get, it's going to be a short term, and then you've given up 3 or 4 of your best prospects. That's what the risk has to be, or the reward has to be better than the risk.
Well, I hear you on that part. I think I know with one, no matter how you cut it, right, you're sitting in first place right around All-Star weekend.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so it's hard to punt the season away in baseball, especially when you're sitting at first place at midway through.
Absolutely.
So now, if that's the case, in my opinion, then there's 2 ways you can go about doing this thing. Since you brought up the farm system, I'm with you. I don't think we should give up the future for right now in that sense. Okay, so you don't go after starting pitching. You go after bullpen pitching. And let's just do what Kansas City did a couple of years ago. Give me 5 innings, and then I'll go to my bullpen for 6, 7, 8, and 9. You know what I mean? So I would assume you can get middle relief a lot cheaper than getting starting pitcher. That's one. And then 2, when we are healthy, I don't care what Philadelphia had, they were getting their rocks beat off by us without our lineup. I don't care what the Dodgers had when we were healthy. They were getting their rocks beat off by us when we were healthy. So all the big names that Philadelphia might have had, all the big names that LA might have, when everybody was lined up and man for man and healthy, we were the best team. So if you're thinking about not keeping Acuna, then spend the money and go get the War Machine from LA, from Anaheim. You gotta go get a bat, because at least he plays outfield, and if you're going to lose an outfielder in Acuna, you gain one with him in outfield, and then you still have Harris, and then you can platoon wherever you need to platoon out there in right field. But I just don't think you can waste this year when you're at the midway point and you're leading your division. I don't think you can do it.
Well,
but if you look,
Bob, let me ask you this, Bob: is there anybody that's untouchable at this point in the farm system?
Is there anybody? I mean, Eric Hartman ain't going nowhere. I mean, I think he's untouchable. I do think that I would think as a pitch on the pitching side, Caminiti, probably untouchable, but it all depends on what you're shooting for. I mean, again, I don't want to see those guys go for Byron Buxton. I don't want to see those guys go for something that's a guy that's not staying healthy. We have that problem already. We don't need more guys. Buxton back on the disabled list yesterday. So we don't need more of that. I want an impact player. A lot of people, the big talk here is Mike Trout. I think Mike Trout is very available this trading deadline. But he can't stay on the field, man. Why would you give away prospects for a guy that hasn't been able to stay on the field? Going on 5 years now? Again, if you're going to make a move, make it make sense. Make it someone that we can extend. That's why I loved the Matt Olson move so much. because it made sense. You know, it was a guy that was going to commit to us for 6 years at Freddie Freeman style level money, that was younger, that plays just as good as Freddie Freeman does. I mean, we didn't lose anything. We swapped talent for talent, you know, and proven that how good he's been for us. You know, he's an all-star right under Freddie Freeman, you know. So you know, that those are the kind of moves I like to see them made. But I think we got a lot more major league talent that they would move this year. I think Sean Murphy, very, very likely to be moved at the deadline somewhere. And I think that he will be a very popular guy to go at the deadline. Everybody's looking for catching help, you know. I think that again, one of our big starters, whether that's Waldrop, AJ, something like that. I think though one of those guys will go in a deal somewhere. But again, it's what are we going to get? If you're gonna fleece the farm system, I want it to be for somebody that we immediately extend. And you know, if they're a free agent, you know, I want assurances that this is going to be a guy that stays with us. But I know better. The Braves have never made a deadline move other than Fred McGriff, you know, that has ever rocked the world. I mean, this is not how the Braves do things. You know, they're not willing to part their farm system. So that's why I'm not worried about that. But the fans are starting to get restless because they're starting to see the product on the field again is subpar.
Hold your thoughts on that. We're going to get back to it. We go. Yeah, I always thought.
What was the question, buddy? I missed it.
All right, we're finna make a quick turn real quick. I say we're finna make a quick turn. Hold on to that Fred McGriff talk because we got a question another day for that. Mm-hmm. Right now, we're finna turn to our basketball extraordinaire. Coming in hot. I would say he's coming in from Vegas, but I'm not sure. But with that microphone he got right there, he could be in Vegas. My man, E-Dub is in the building with the Hawks Report.
What's going on, folks? What's up, Bob? How you living, my brother?
We're doing good, buddy. How about yourself?
Hey, life is good, man. No complaints. How y'all doing today?
Man, all is well, man. I thought you were gonna be calling in from Vegas. I was like, man, put me $20 on that slot machine. E-Dub, real quick, straight to the point. Grade the draft that the Hawks had.
Oh man, I don't do draft grades, man, because the boys ain't played a minute of basketball yet. But like, I would say that.
Okay, don't give me no grade. Give me a word.
All right. Above average. Okay.
Above average.
So yeah.
Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you like it?
I liked it. I didn't love it, but I mean, it was cool. You know what I mean? Like, I think that you didn't come away with a net negative, and that's always a plus, you know. I really like the Fleming kid. I like the Zuby kid. I think you got Henry Vasar at a bargain price in that second round. And I think they did what they were supposed to do at where they were drafting. So yeah. And
then they got Aaron Wiggins in the trade. And possibly, they talk about Trey Murphy possibly coming. What you think about the Aaron Wiggins kid they got in the trade?
He's a good depth piece. Like, it's not going to be sexy. It's not going to be like, you know, he's not going to drive the stand. He's not going to drive people to the arena. But he's a good depth player, and he's much better depth than what you had as far as a ball player and what he can offer you. So it was a solid piece, not sexy, nothing to really like, you know, hanging the rafters, but it was a good piece.
How true or how valid is this Trey Murphy thing coming?
I don't think it's gonna happen. I think they're asking for a little bit too much. And if I would honestly, I would stay away from it. Like I think Joe was trying to recoup that deal that he made last year, trying to get all them picks. But like, nah, yeah. Trey Murphy ain't worth all that, man.
What would you like? Yeah, go ahead.
Interesting thing just popped up, and I don't know if E-Dub has seen this. E-Dub with the shiny microphone all the time. What about this? They said the Hawks have a sign and trade framework in place that was send Kuminga to the Lakers for Jared Vanderbilt in a 2032 first round swap. First pick swap.
Vanderbilt and somebody else.
Yeah, I saw that. That would be a good move. I mean, especially if you don't want Kuminga. I mean, you're getting something back. You're not just letting him walk. So I think that'll be a good, again, Vanderbilt will be a good depth piece, better than what you had. You're building. I don't think that no one is going to mistake this Hawks team for a team competing for a championship next season. And some fans feel a way about that. Some don't. But, I mean, they're trying to build and establish an identity for what they want to be. They know that's not what they are, but that's, but I mean, if they're ready to do that, I would do that deal if I'm the Hawks.
E-Dub, I got a bet to win against Coach. I need the Hawks to go further than the Timberwolves. So I need the Hawks to have a little more urgency and they're getting this team together.
I remember that bet, man.
I need a little more urgency, especially since the East, over the last 2 weeks, like Bob was saying, the East all of a sudden got deep. It was only like 3 teams deep 2 weeks ago. Now they are solid 7 teams deep. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I really that Minnesota move came out of the dark, man. And the more I sat with it, the more I really liked it from Minnesota. Because, I mean, LaMelo Ball, I mean, he can be a lot of things. But one thing you can say, he's never played with a guy like Anthony Edwards. And so that backcourt has a lot of potential to really cause a lot of problems, I think they're going to be fun on the court as well as off the court. I'm looking forward to those after-game press conferences with the two of them. So, I mean, they're one of my wild cards, man. I think that they're going to cause, it's going to make it really fun out west.
I agree. What is it about this Kingston kid that you like? I mean, I like him too, but I just wanted to hear your expertise on Kingston Fleming.
Yeah, he plays both sides of the ball. Like, he's not a defensive stopper, but he competes defensively. He doesn't make bad decisions. He doesn't. He's gonna make the safe pass, and he's a good passer. And when you have that at the point guard position, I think in the 2 games that he's played, he only has 2 turnovers. And yeah, it's a short sample size. It's a summer league sample size, but he's a good decision maker. He stays with what he is, and there's a lot of potential, a lot of things to really be excited about with the kid, man. He competes, and that's probably the thing that I like the most about the kid.
Now, I think me and the fellas was on this about the second pick, and we thought they probably should have went with a Chris Annett over a Zuby Ejiofor. Did you have them? How did you have them ranked, or did you?
I didn't have Zuby ranked. Like, I had him in that bucket, right? Like, you could have got him, but I had a couple of guys honestly ranked above him. But I understood why they did it, right? And so when you get it, and if you've seen him play, he's a very physical specimen. And a lot of Hawks fans wanted a 7-foot guy, and he's not 7 foot, but a lot of times people get bogged down in the measurements. Like, he's a physical dude. Last night he played against the night before he played against Mara, who is 7'3", and he gave him all he wanted. He gave him all he wanted from a physical standpoint. And to me, I'd rather have a physical person than someone who's just 7 feet and just 7 feet just to be 7 feet. Zuby is going to be a good player. I mean, a lot of fans were a little like kind of jumping the broom a little bit and be like, oh, he needs to be like in a rotation. Like, he's not ready to be a rotational player yet, but it's going to be fun to watch him in College Park. It's going to be fun to watch Vasar and those 2 guys in College Park as well. So, yeah.
I think we compare him to Ivan Johnson. Is that what we did, fellas? Then we Say he was like an Ivan Johnson
Yeah,
type.
yeah. We were all
With a better-
confused with that
better
second
offense.
pick. We did. We were confused with that second pick, HO, until day 2 when they went and got the North Carolina kid, and then it made the 23rd pick made sense with the day 2 pick. You know what I mean? So
I can see that.
but to your point, E-Dub, he's bringing something that they don't have in that front court. Is
Yeah, because if I were to ask you who's the most physical player on the team, you would be like, you'd really have to scratch and think because they don't have a lot of physicality on that team. So you need that, especially when you are in playoff basketball. That's the one thing you really saw. Outside of the size, you don't have the physicality. Outside of Dyson on the perimeter, you ain't had no physicality.
Yeah, he was getting manhandled all the way around.
Asa, just be aware, Asa. When you lose the bet, I got one of these for you.
Hey. E-Dub said it, but he didn't say it. If you putting your money on LaMelo, I like for you to be paying my bet. That's all. That's all I gotta say.
Who on the Hawks gonna stop Anthony Edwards?
5 people, because that's the only person you keep calling for Minnesota is Anthony Edwards. You don't say nobody else's name, so I can go 5-on-1 on him.
That's all right. That's why the other guys are gonna be scoring. You still got other guys out there that's gonna be scoring.
They left the building. Nazi Reed left the building. They sent the other guy out. If you asking for extra scoring to come from the Frenchman,
says, how confident are you? Yeah. E-Dub. There's the question. You want me to read it, or can you see it?
Yeah, I can read it. How confident am I in Quinn's staff ability to develop these guys, make this team a championship conversation? So I believe in the development. I would say 60-40, because Quinn is in a difficult spot where he's trying to win more so than he's trying to develop, but the GM is the one who's trying to develop and he's trying to win. So it's kind of like a, on which day, what matters more, the winning or the development, right? And so I think that they've shown a track record that they can develop. I mean, and Jalen Johnson would be my primary backup to that. But it's not just Quinn. It's got to be Ansi as well, because if you're talking about championship, that's talking about bringing guys in. That's not just development. And so, the GM and the coach got to walk hand in hand. I think they are. I think they're both well aware that this is just not going to be the year. They're going to go for it, and that's fine. But what are you going to do in the meantime? And how do you sell that to the fans, And so a lot of folks are upset they didn't get no big free agents. They didn't get Jaylen Brown. They didn't get Giannis and all that. But, they've been clear on what they're trying to do, and that is develop. And so we'll see how Quinn and Ansi walks that balance throughout the season. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting to watch.
Ansi made a little bit of a move today, too. That was kind of under the radar. We hired Bontemps from ESPN, was a big strategy guy. I think that maybe that was a move to possibly assist with, with defensive strategy. I think that's one thing that they really want to focus on this year with, a full season without Trey there, to really focus that lineup on to be a defensive first. They've got the youth, they've got the talent. Again, we know the Hawks can score, but let's win them. Let's win them. 95 to 90 games instead of everything having to be where we got to score 112 to win or 115 to win. I think you're going to see a big change with Trey not being there to that type of rotation. You saw it at the end of the year last year. But with the moves that were made and stuff, but with the increase in the East, man, they're going to have to step it up. I mean, again, you know, that got us through last year, but it's a whole different ball game around the East now.
Yeah, man. I think Bontemps is kind of more of like an analytics and a money guy. I think that they brought him in for. I'm not sure exactly, but I agree with you. I agree with you, Bob. Like the defense at some point has to take precedent. I've given Quinn fair assessment, and one of my beefs with him is too many times he relies on the offense more than the defense, and maybe that's just because I'm kind of old school. I thought in some of his lineups, it was a little bit too offensive heavy when it should have been defense, but that's just how he coaches, and that's how he's gonna coach. But I'm always been of the believers, man. You got to stop somebody. Like your offense is going to come, but you got to be able to be physical and you got to be able to stop people.
All right, I got a question about this. DeMar DeRozan just got waived. Is that a piece that you can add that will give us
Miami
credibility, leadership, pairing with CJ McCollum to help the locker room?
Nah.
What's your thoughts?
Let him go sign somewhere else, bro. I know
Miami.
he's trying to get that last little thing. Let him go somewhere and try to compete for a chip. Number one, and here's my thing, and it's not just I'm just like saying like to be cheap. Number one, he probably wants to play for a contender, which means the Hawks are probably not going to be on his short list. Number two, if he's playing, he's going to take minutes away from one of my young boys, and I don't need that. I don't need that. So let him go to Miami. Let him go to LA. Let him go to somewhere where he feels like he can compete. He's not the DeMar that he used to be. No disrespect, but like, nah.
You be a young boy.
I'm with you. Let him go to Miami and try to win.
I got somebody in the back that may want to ask you some more questions. The man just entered the building. Let's see what we got here. Mr. Hancock is in the building.
What's up?
What's up, fam?
Oh no, Hancock is here. Oh my God.
What's up, Coach?
What's up, brother?
What's happening with you, Doug? Yeah, I just put something in the little chat. I know Big Homer wanted me to come on and ask him personally, or say it personally. I think Ant may be their star, well, the Wolves' star of the future. Melo, when Ant leaves the building. I think they were just trying to protect themselves to have a name. I don't really care for the pairing. I don't see it. I understand what you're saying. But Ant's availability, Melo's availability is one thing that really scares me about what he'll do. And if you're gonna have to make moves to keep Ant happy. I think, his personality and having fun is going to only go so far. But when you start looking at it, and he hadn't been one of these legacy guys where he really worries about it. But I just think as you get older, I think the thought process changes, and then you say, okay, what am I doing this? Am I trying to win or not? Yeah. So I'm not really sure about that. So like I said, I think Minnesota at least covered themselves to have a star that they can kind of hang their hat on. But I don't know if this pairing is going to last.
Yeah, it's definitely a high risk, high reward. And the risk is just as high as the reward. Because, we all know LaMelo. LaMelo going to always be LaMelo until the day he leaves this earth. And, it's just high risk. It can go really good or it could go really bad.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You're right. And I think GMs, what people don't understand, GMs look at your team and they're looking at year 3, year 4. They're not necessarily looking at the upcoming year. They're looking at 3 years and to your point, he's like, okay, if Ant wants to belt, if Ant is like, hey, if I crap out and I don't hit a 7 or 11 and Ant wants to get up out of here, at least I can hang my head on this light-skinned boy over here who's going to be flashing and shooting threes.
Exactly.
And whatever. So I think your point is extremely valid.
Hey, D-Dub, that leads me to the point, and you go like this. It leads me to the point to add into your podcast, the Hawks Beat, which you're going to be talking about NBA talk and not just solely on the Hawks. So with that being said, that is a touch of class of what Hancock just did. That's why I wanted him to come in and make that spin for you. So with that being said, Draymond declined the money to Golden State. What are you hearing? What are you saying? What are you seeing? Or what do you think this means for Golden State or LeBron possibly?
I mean, yeah, like that's why you have the player option. You always decline the player option. Always, unless you are hurt, unless you know that nobody wants to pick you up, you always gonna get that player option. You're always gonna decline it because that's your best leverage to get more money. That's why they don't hand out a lot of player options. Draymond is doing everything he can do to get his brother LeBron to Golden State, you know? And if that means he got to restructure, however the money's going to look, he's willing to do that. And that was the move he was making when he said he's going to opt out of that player option. So I understand the game. It's gamemanship, man. Everyone wants Bron, even though he's 40, even though he's 107 years old.
Right. And they got the same agent, so I'm sure they done talked about this already.
Yeah, so there's a method to the madness.
Do you think they'll be able to pull off the third piece? Is what they're saying is the AD part.
Donovan Mitchell signs a max deal with Cleveland.
I personally don't think he's going to Golden State. Like I don't see it. Like it doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like a comfortable fit to me.
Who?
Bron.
Oh. Thank you for being a friend.
Hey, so Donovan Mitchell signs a max deal with Cleveland. Does that affect Bron going back home to Cleveland, in your opinion?
No, I mean, if Bron wants to go to Cleveland, they'll make room for him. Like, they'll make room because, like he's already said, it's not about the money. He'll play for the minimum. You know, he just wants to, according to his agent, he just wants to go to a place where he can have fun and compete and you know, be comfortable. To me, and this is my personal opinion, I'm not reporting anything, I think that Cleveland might be the best situation for him to go to. You know, you're going home. I mean, I love Bron. I've defended Bron for so many years, but I want bro to hang it up, man. Like, I'm ready to turn the chapter. And what better way to end this book of LeBron Raymond James than in Cleveland?
100%.
Go back for 1 year. Take your Kareem victory tour like Kareem did. Like, everyone give you the rocking chairs and all that. And then call it a day. Your job is done. And I love the fact, and listen, I love the fact that he waited to make his Lakers announcement until Bronny's contract got solidified, right? Like, so they had until like July so-and-so until Bronny's 2.5 or 3.2 million was guaranteed. Bron waited until after that, and then he was like, yeah, I'm not going to come back to LA. Always take care of your sons, folks. Always take care of your sons. So I'm appreciative of that, man.
All right, so now this is the thing. Now I got to ask you, what do you think is more important to Bron at this particular point? Getting his fifth ring or playing 25 years in the NBA?
I think they're both equal. I think he would like to get a fifth ring. In all honesty, I think that the optics matter on that fifth ring, right? So, not saying he's got to be the man, but if you get that fifth ring, you know, even though, no disrespect, even though KD got his 2 rings, people always kind of squint their eyes at his 2 rings. Not saying that, you know, he will whatever, but like, I think the type of ring matters to, you know, but I think Bron just likes ball. Like, I think he just like, and it's crazy. He been doing it for this long. Like, you ain't found nothing else you want to do.
Like, go home to Savannah.
Nothing else you want to do. Like, find you a hobby or something.
Yeah,
I'll be going to Savannah every night.
Yeah.
But hey,
Yeah,
E-Dub, I got a
KD.
question. I got a question for you, E-Dub. With that being said about people squinting at KD's two squinting at KD's two rings. Do people not squint at the ring in the bubble? I'm just asking
you, but I think that is people who don't understand basketball. And I think that if you understand like what they really went through, like in the bubble and like not being around your family and not like that whole situation, it wasn't easy. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't easy. Same situation. And I put that in the same category of the 1999 championship with the Spurs, right? On the lockout season when they had a shortened season and everyone's like, oh, it was a lockout season, this whatever. Like that's true, but your team didn't win. You know what I'm saying? There's always value in winning the championship. I don't care what the situation is, whatever it is. Everybody else had an opportunity to do it, and they didn't, and they did. So I never take away from a team winning a chip because it's hard. Like it's always hard. It's never easy. I don't care if you're playing in front of 100 virtual people in the stands. It's never easy because if it was easy, somebody else would have done it. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the way I look at it.
But in the same breath, though, you just said that KD's championships are looked at like they're crutches or whatever. I just it's so subjective. I understand what you're saying because you're making a valid point. I'm not belaboring your point at all. I'm just saying that people say that and then they turn around and diminish what KD did. He was the best player in both series, Absolutely. But so it's I don't know. It's 61 hand, half dozen in the other.
Folks are always going to create their own narrative. They're always going to create their own narrative. And like you said, when KD, I don't hold nothing against KD. Like, I mean, he did go to a team that won 70 games. That's his prerogative. He got to sleep with that. I don't care. But it wasn't like that group and was just a hanger on. He wasn't like, hey, I'm about to drive this ship. Steph was like, all right.
He wasn't Robert Horry. It wasn't a Robert Horry situation.
Nah, yeah. It was
I guess I respect it.
Yeah, KD.
Bob,
KD
you got any more questions, Bob?
Well, I just think, we sit here and we talk about the swan song of LeBron, but let's not act like a declining LeBron still ain't better than 1/3 of the league in the NBA. I mean, it's
that
not
is the conundrum. That's the conundrum.
Yeah, his game has declined as you've gotten older. That's expected. But let's not act like he's fallen off. I mean, we're not talking about Shaq here. We're not talking about, Barkley at the end of his career. It's not been a sharp decline. And that's what everybody wants to see from him. They want him to fall off, and he's not. I mean, he limped the Lakers in the playoffs last year.
I don't want to see him fall off. I want to see him gone. I'm not here looking for a fall off. I just want to see the book close.
I'm glad that chapter in LA is over. That's what I wanted, him out of LA. And if it took them taking every white guy left in the NBA to be on the roster, I have to live with it. No offense, but it is what it is.
I would hate this whole thing. I would hate this whole thing worse if I felt like he was taking someone's place off the roster, but he earns that spot. I mean, still to this day, he is one of a starting 5 on every single team in this league.
If the Lakers win the entire thing after LeBron is gone, they will shut the NBA down for next.
The world is coming to an end, and the Cowboys will probably get a championship too. If the Lakers get one, then go ahead and sign the Cowboys up for one too. I might have I might have a weird pick for the NFL season. Just keep that little feather in your hat.
Listen, so we can get rid of Stephen A. if the Lakers win, right?
Yeah, we can.
The Lord we get rid of Stephen A. if the Lakers win. The Knicks to win a championship at the same time. It's not. We're not built to be able to withstand that. No, it's not going to happen.
E-Dub, I do got one question for you. Another question for you, E-Dub, as far as LeBron goes, and this has always been my personal thought. I understand the powers that be with the NBA or whatever, with the vacuum, with the vacuum and the money that MJ had made for the league, and they were looking for that other person to step in because Kobe was too much of a carbon copy to a degree. But I feel like if LeBron had really placated his game toward Magic and not toward, if the story was him placating his game toward Magic and not toward Jordan, then I believe his upside that he has had throughout his whole career would then have been able to top Jordan without getting the 6 rings. Because in everybody's list, when you say point guard, it should be Magic 1, and then whoever won the fight for second. And so, but when you look at LeBron's game, his game was, to me, always more predicated to Magic than it was to Jordan. And so now, late in his career, we're seeing him be more of that 6'9", point forward, control the game, control the rock. I don't got to do as much in the air or my physicality. I can do a whole lot more with my mind and moving the ball around. So is it he realized he was chasing the wrong goal too late in his career? Or
I think that, I mean, you obviously know ball. You know what I mean? Like, you know ball. Bron was never Mike. He was never going to be Mike. He was never going to be, and I think the reason why he took so much vitriol a lot of the times is because people wanted him to be Kobe. They wanted him to be the mold of Mike. They wanted him to have the attitude of Mike. That boy was already here. That was number 24 for the Lakers. Like Kobe, I mean, Magic, I mean, Bron was never going to be Mike. He was never going to be like, oh, I'm going to take that shot if 3 guys are on me. That's never been him. It ain't never been him through high school, whatever. He's always been more than in Magic. And for folks that understand, like, they never really expected him to be Mike. And so when folks was like, oh man, he's not no killer, he's not a clutch, which first of all is not true because you're not looking at the statistics. But like Bron has always built, like you said, he's always been built in the I'm gonna make the best play, not necessarily take the last shot. And there's room for both at the table because Kobe was a great player. But Bron ain't never, and I think where people got like confused about it is that, Bron started winning and he started being elevated. And then you had the machine pushing Bron like that. The machine, the ESPN, the Foxes pushing him to be like Mike, but it was never like Mike. It was always like Magic because he was never like, if Bron just focused on scoring, he probably could have put up Wilt numbers his whole career if all he wanted to do was score. But like, yeah, I agree with you. He's always been more Magic than Mike.
And you want to jump in on that? I know you're.
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree with the style. I agree totally with the style of play. He is definitely more in the Magic Johnson. He just could score it better than Magic, more athletic. The thing I think about LeBron is that you cannot argue with the greatness. You cannot argue with that at all. I think his kind of the passive aggressiveness that he has kind of, detracts from what he is. And now, honestly, the problem is now he's becoming a meme a lot of times. As great as he is, people take great pleasure in showing him when he fakes a foul, when he falls or stumbles, when he's throwing the ball out of bounds. And what's happening now is that it comes into your phone all the time. The people that are they don't know the true greatness of LeBron. They see now a diminished LeBron, and that's being placated all over the internet. So to me, I think it is tarnishing how great he was. The thing what happened with Mike was, no matter about Mike, it didn't ever tarnish him going to Washington. He didn't have the buffoonery, none of that kind of stuff where you see LeBron with the fake fall down and all this kind of stuff. And now people still buy his shoes. They don't even know who Michael Jordan is. They look at some of the kids is wearing Michael Jordan, wearing Jordans. They just want us to be like, well, we wore Chuck Taylor. We didn't know Chuck Taylor was. We didn't know nothing about it, but we were wearing it. and that's the same thing. Jordan has transcended, and I think what's happening with LeBron is he's becoming the butt of a lot of jokes. And for not being a great, true, big time LeBron supporter and all that, I just hate to see that because I do feel he's one of the top 2 or 3 all time, no doubt.
I think you're absolutely right. I think that the era in which they're playing is totally different. We only saw Mike on Sundays. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have the 24-hour news cycle. We didn't know what Mike was doing we never saw Mike on the golf course. We never saw Mike hanging out with his kids. We never saw Mike. We never saw any negative press about Mike on a random Wednesday on our 24/7 news cycle. And so
he was 10% of the GDP. That's why he ran all the machines.
No, we just didn't have access to sports like that. We didn't have access to sports like that. And so now it's like, oh, look at LeBron. LeBron, he flopped on a Wednesday. Like now we have access to see that. I'm sure them dudes in the 80s did all the stuff that these dudes do now, but we just didn't have the access to see it, and we weren't able to criticize them. And because we weren't able to criticize them, because we didn't have the access, we believe that they didn't do none of that stuff. When in all actuality, they probably did. You know what I'm saying? You think Jordan didn't flop for some calls? You think that he never did, he didn't try to, work the referees? I'm sure he did. But they didn't have 24/7 phones back then. All we had was ESPN. And if you had a little money, you had TBS.
Right.
But we didn't have the access to these guys. And so,
Hancock, who are your top 3? Your top 3?
Woo! I'm a Magic Johnson fan, so it's going to be partial. So to me, Magic, Michael, I'm going to go with Michael Magic. Man, it's hard to not put Cap in there. I don't think he truly gets the greatness that he deserves. But to me, LeBron he right in that level, man. I mean, the dude we haven't seen anybody with the skill set, the size, the speed, everything that he has. And you asked me a question, I'm filibustering my butt off, but I just got to go. I go Magic. I go Michael Magic and Kareem. I don't know.
Hancock, I got you, Hancock. The way you get around that question, and I'm not being funny, but at all, Coach. Hold on. The way that you answer that question is who's your top 5 in every position. And so your top 5, like I said, Magic should be number 1's everybody point guard. If you got anybody else at point guard number 1 that I really don't know. Then number 2 you can have an argument at shooting guard, but I would go Jordan. Then 3 is where the argument really starts. Do you go Bird? Do you go LeBron? You know what I mean? There's many small forwards where you can really have the argument at. My power forward is going to be Duncan, and my center, another argument, but most folks probably would go Shaq. You know what I mean? But 3 is where the argument. 3 is where the argument that involves LeBron. Because
I agree. I agree with that. And I agree with that 100%. I like the way you broke that down. It's probably some other guys you could throw in, but I do like what you said right there. I don't know if Bird is going to ever get the credit or the reverence that he deserves, but that was a bad dude right there. Larry Bird broke a bunch of hearts. So I don't know. It's tough.
Hey, did y'all hear Coach said Shaq?
Yeah, I'm going Kareem. Kareem is mine. Kareem is mine.
Hey, Coach, that's why I said you can argue with the 5 position.
I ain't argue.
No, I know you're not going to argue, but I'm just saying people can actually argue with the 5 and people can argue with the 3.
Yeah.
I think 1, 2, and 4, there's, you know what I mean? There's nothing to be said. Magic, Jordan, Duncan. and let's have at it with the 2 and the 5.
All right, with that being said,
who won the most MVPs and league MVPs of all time? Who did that?
I said you can argue in 5. I said you can argue in 5.
There ain't no argument. Man, you talking about ain't no argument with 1, 2, and 4.
Shaq was the most dominant force for a long time, and I'm not a Shaq lover. Like my center would probably get laughed off this board when I probably would like roll to Ewing or Elijah or one of them. You know what I mean? But like I said, the five. Well, you get a whole lot of different opinions with the 5. Not saying now Kareem's total career, high school, college, and his basketball career. His basketball career can't nobody touch Kareem, but his NBA career can't get got.
I think you saying can get caught because the era was different. Kareem, you waited till you got Cap on that block and you got the ball to him. And he was going, as he said, put 20 and 10 in the box every night. It didn't matter. He was going to get that and you couldn't stop it. He still, to me, has the most unstoppable shot in the history of basketball. It just is what it is.
Hey, so you got to miss it.
I was not going to say no. Wow. I was not going to say no. I might have used one of the big boys from Milwaukee back in the day before I used Ilgauskas.
Oh Lord.
All right, E-Dub, I'm gonna let you read this one, and then we're gonna move on to our question of the day and let you ride.
Both players are in question, are in their prime, regardless of era. Who you taking is the question we have to ask our player. Both players, who they talking about? Mike and Brian?
Yeah.
Oh man, that could go either way. It depends. It depends on what era we're playing in. Like, are we calling 90s fouls? Are we calling today's fouls? It's literally, and I hate to run from the question, but the difference in era is
this is the problem you're gonna actually have.
It's a different game. It's a completely different game.
But this
they play zone. They can play zone now. You can't play no zone back in the day. It was man to man, baby.
So this is the problem you're gonna have with the eras. To your point, there was nobody that rivaled Michael Jordan in his era. In LeBron's era, somebody can argue that Steph Curry, because he got more rings, could be
same amount.
This era's best player.
Yeah, I think that all of that is it's so hard to go across the eras. Steph and Braun have the same amount of rings.
Yeah.
But I think that even if you go back and look at the style of play and difference, I think that nowadays you have a different type of player. Not disregarding anything in the 90s and the 80s. They never had to deal with a Kevin Durant. They never had to deal with a guy who was 7 feet and that can shoot. And it's no disrespect to anybody in the 80s or the 90s. It's no disrespect. They never had to deal with a Jokic or these 7-footers that can do all of these things and that they're putting him as like point guard. They've never had to deal with that. And today's player never had to deal with a guy who can put both hands on you legally. And so how can you compare the two? Because both games are almost night and day. It's almost like arguing apples and oranges. That's why I always
let me give you a perfect example. Can you imagine Steph Curry trying to bring the ball up against a Mookie Blaylock?
I mean, I could, but then again, like you got to flip it. Like you got to flip it. So like then you got to ask yourself, like, what kind of player would Mookie Blaylock and would Reggie Miller be in this day where you're allowed to shoot 10 or 15 threes? So you got to flip it with both sides. Like I can see both sides, and that's why it's almost impossible to cross eras when you talk about the discussion.
Steph Curry, and you look at the comparison with Steph Curry and LeBron. Steph Curry didn't have nowhere near the hype LeBron did coming into the league. You know, Steph Curry earned his hype, through being the player he is. LeBron, from high school on was put on a pedestal that, most people would crumble under. And what did he do with it? Turned into LeBron. I mean, he ran with it and is continuing to be that person. That's what puts me where I put LeBron over Steph Curry. If we're going to talk about the best of this generation, I mean, again, that kind of pressure
let me ask,
really hasn't been seen since Kobe and Jordan.
But by the same token, when you say what LeBron did, LeBron stacked the deck everywhere he went. He made everything his bed. Let's say Mike Jordan had the same ability to say how the franchise was going to be run, because he had to cater to whatever Krause and they said. That GMs ran the thing back then. Players didn't run things. So, yeah, they did go out and acquire Ron Harper. They went out and acquired Dennis Rodman. They did all these things for Jordan also. But the Bulls' run may have been a little circumvented because of the way they did things. And who's to say, in this era, Mike was never one of the highest paid like he should have been. He should have been paid astronomically, but there was a whole different ballgame. When you talk about eras, you have to put the money thing in it also, and the restrictions that they have. So, I mean, it's hard to say what a team will do. Then we got it. And this thing I hate worse than anything, the replay thing. Had there been replays back in the day, who would be great? We don't know, because how many outcomes would be different? And that goes along with your lore and your legacy. So how many of those games might have changed with these reviews and all this kind of crap? It's hard to say, man. I don't know. We can just take from what they did in their era and just say they were nice in this era. When we try to compare, I think it's too much out there for us to come up with a real true point.
I agree. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Question of the day, and E-Dub, I'm going to start with you. Your all-time free agent signing in each sport: basketball, football, and baseball. I'm sorry.
Oh man, that's a tough one.
We know you're gonna throw Tom Brady now for football. We go ahead and put that. We go ahead and lay that one on your plate. So
as long as you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Championships are forever.
That was an easy one. Tom Brady with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Championships are forever. But I will go. I'm gonna throw a curveball at you, and I'm gonna stay local. I'm gonna go Joe Johnson to the Hawks. And it's not sexy, it's not the highest one. But if you remember, the Hawks they were so irrelevant. And getting Joe Johnson was such a huge deal for this city. And, Joe had a great career here in Atlanta. But just the fact of them breaking that ceiling and bringing Joe here and everything that he was, I'm going to go Joe Johnson for basketball, man. Of course, I'm going Tom for football because, he got us that second ring. And, there's that. But, I'm going to go Joe for basketball. For football, what was the other sport you said?
Baseball.
I'm gonna stay local again. I'm going to go Fred McGriff. Fred McGriff to the Braves. I will never, ever forget watching as a kid in Florida. I pulled for the Braves because we didn't have no team at the time. This predates the Rays. So I pulled for the Braves. Crime Dog got traded. Yeah. Crime Dog went to the Braves, and I remember watching that first game. I think he hit 2 home runs. I don't know if it was 1 or 2, but I know he hit at least 1.
Stadium on Fire, his debut.
Stadium on fire.
I was working that game. I was down there working
with the Braves for my baseball.
I mean, that, honestly, that was a trade deadline move, but still, it was like a free agent signing because the Braves didn't. We talked about this earlier. The Braves didn't make moves like that, so it was like a free agent signing.
So I'm gonna bend the rules a little bit, but I'm going with Crime Dog. I'm going Fred.
It was a big one. It's one of the biggest.
That's cool. We can go around the horn and get everybody. Go ahead, Bob. We can go with you next.
For basketball, I would say. You gotta put LeBron to the Heat, but wild card, And one that made an instant impact, you got to look at Kawhi going to the Raptors. We talked about this earlier, about Kawhi going back to the Raptors. I really like that move. Baseball, Greg Maddux, but odd and funny note, Greg Maddux was never our target that year. Our target was Barry Bonds, but Willie Mays came in, made a last-minute plea to Barry Bonds to go to San Fran. So our backup was Greg Maddux to come to the Braves. A lot of people don't know that, but Barry Bonds was really close to sign with the Braves. We wouldn't have had the money to get Maddux. So, that's turned out very well for both teams, I would say, because I would say Barry Bonds to the Giants is a real close second there. Football, man, I hate to do this to you guys here, and the big NFC South Falcons fans, but a lot of people would expect me to say, Sam Darnold, but I'm not going to say that, even though that was a big one for us this year.
It turned out to be big. Y'all, they had no idea.
Yeah, I would say. I have a one that's tied for first for football. Drew Brees to the Saints was massive. For the city,
with that bum shoulder, they took a chance with him too.
Yeah, it was a massive signing for them. It changed the franchise, and that year coming off of that, everything was just unbelievable. And I say Dion to the 49ers from the Cowboys was a massive one too at the time.
Well, that's when the Cowboys and 49ers, that's the reason why we got a cap in the NFL now, because them two were playing. They were literally playing Madden with real players that 94 year.
I remember that breaking everybody in Dallas's heart when he went to the 49ers.
All right, Asa, what you got?
In the NFL, I got the Minister of Defense leaving Philadelphia and going to Green Bay. He's the one reason why they won their championship. Could nobody stop Reggie White.
100%.
That's one in the NFL. I'm gonna jump in the car with y'all on Major League Baseball. So I'll jump in the car with you. I didn't know that about us getting Mad Dog, getting Greg Maddux over Barry Bonds. I didn't realize that. So I'm gonna jump in the car with y'all on baseball. And in the NBA, McGuire going to the Pistons. That was the one guy they needed in Detroit to get over the hump and beat Boston, and they acquired McGuire. So McGuire is my guy in the NBA as far as being a big offseason acquisition and helping win the championship.
All right, Coach, what you got?
I can say Dantley too in Detroit. Detroit made some moves to beat Boston and get over the hump. They made some real moves.
Coach, what you working with, Coach?
A lot of people forgetting about Peyton Manning going to the Broncos after that bad neck injury. And
I like that one. Go ahead, Coach. Educate us, Coach.
2 Super Bowls. Then
talk your talk, Coach.
Like Bob said, like both of them said, the Greg Maddux one was too big. You can't beat that one with a stick. I don't know how you can top that Greg Maddux for the price, what you got out of him, and winning all those Cy Youngs. In the NBA, of course, everybody gonna say LeBron, but because his impact of what he did, and I think that, and in football, I think that, well, like I said, Peyton Manning. And then quietly, I'm just gonna throw my boy in there because I went to school with him. Jerry Rice going to the Oakland Raiders.
Massive at the time
before he left.
That's a great one, Coach. That was massive at the time.
Yeah,
so that's another
good call, Coach. Good call, Coach. We knew you would go digging the crates, though.
I thought Coach was going to say Babe Ruth.
I thought Coach was going to say Russell.
Big Hobie, can I give you mine?
Yeah, it's on you. It's on you now.
All right. Yeah, my free agent signing would be Mr. October, Reggie Jackson. One thing I think a lot of people don't realize how big a star he was going to the Yankees.
In Oakland.
So I'm going Reggie Jackson this October. Yeah, in basketball, I just think that even though this dude gets a bad rap, he goes and won two championships and was MVP of the finals twice. He came over the top. It was it's going to be probably one of the most controversial, but I'm going Kevin Durant in basketball. And in football, the biggest trade signing is going to the Vikings because it led to a dynasty in Dallas.
Who did you say in football?
Herschel Walker leaving.
Herschel Walker.
Well, that was actually a trade. It was actually a trade.
No, a trade. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
But it was actually a trade, though. It was actually a trade.
Two trades or free agent.
That's fine. They Minnesota got fleeced. The ultimate fleece.
Yes. Hey, E-Dub, that was all we had, bro. We just wanted to get your thoughts on that because I wanted to get your Tom Brady influence in there. So I had to ask you. I already knew what your answer was gonna be, but man, I so appreciate you coming through, bro. And let's talk soon, man, because the Hawks look like they got some good things going for them this year.
Hey man, you know I'm just a text message away, man. I appreciate all you guys, man.
For sure, man. Let everybody know where they can catch
Take it easy,
the new and improved Hawks Beat.
Yeah, Hawks Beat. We're gonna start sprinkling in some random NBA podcasts in between the Hawks stuff. So tap in with us. We just dropped our first podcast. We talked about, out of all the guys changing teams, which guy is in the best position, right? And so we talked about Giannis. We talked about Jaylen Brown. So go ahead and check that out for us. Hawks Beat on all your social media platforms. We there, and we're about to start year 13. So we appreciate you guys, man.
All right, bro. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon, my man.
All
right. There you go, Coach. You got a little confidence. Big Z in the house.
Big Z.
Yeah, that Dawson from Montreal to Chicago was a big one too. Yeah.
Prime time going to the Cowgirls. Yep.
Hey, watch your mouth, Coach. Watch your mouth, Coach.
I'm sorry. My bad. I forgot you still here.
You can say Cowgirls if you put champions in front of that.
Hey, Hancock.
Carletta's in early.
Hancock. Everybody winning something. So it might be y'all time. Everybody winning. The Knicks.
It
might be y'all time.
I'm taking all the responsibility for getting the gang back together. Y'all made me today. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Bob, you never did answer the rumor. Hey, Ho, there was a rumor that Bob, he's from Seattle, that Seattle area. Somebody said for a few hours his name was Belgium Bob, and then they beat the USA Monday night, and then people didn't know that he was in the crowd. He was with the Belgian team for a minute, then next thing you know, he switched back. USA.
Don't let them do you like that, Bob.
The Sounders could beat Team USA.
We're gonna go around the room. We're gonna go around the room and talk about Jalen Johnson. Is it fair or unfair of how he's been portrayed?
You mean Jaylen Brown?
Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, bro. We'll start with you.
Get our last name right, Ho.
All right, Bob. Start with you. Fair or not fair? The way Jaylen Brown has been treated in the media.
Tough place to play in Boston. It's that comes with when you play for a team like that. The scrutiny in the bigger markets. Boston, New York, Chicago, that's how it's going to be. I mean, they're going to hit you on your flaws more than they're going to congratulate you on your wins. That's just how it's always been, I think he, now that he's moved, he's going to, we're going to see, I guess, his true self, I guess, but let's not act like they any nicer in Philly. I mean, it might get a little rougher in Philly. So, some of the best media guys around are in the Philly market. Those guys don't let stuff slide. You create the relationship that you have with media. I mean, again, I've seen the roughest of rough with the media. I've dealt with people that I thought as a fan would be a pleasure to deal with that are the most difficult to deal with, so it is you set your own motion. So is it fair that he gets treated that way? Maybe it is. Maybe that's how he is with the media, but some people just can't take critiquing, and maybe he's that type of person. But again, it's a different market. I felt like he was a little disrespected in Boston, I'm not gonna lie, but I mean he wasn't the star there. He's not gonna be the star in Philly either, but it's a fresh start, so we'll have to see how it goes for him there.
All right, Asa Brown, your namesake, last name. Fair, unfair.
Totally
unfair.
Totally unfair. And I don't like this in any sport, or it don't even have to be a player. Whenever you make a bad mistake, or you make a mistake that doesn't go over well with the PR, the first thing they do is want to throw out the negativity or want to bash the name, right? So the first thing they did with Jaylen Brown, and every black man here knows what it is. Oh, he's too smart. To your question earlier, H.O., when the hell did being too smart be a bad thing? Where it's a bad thing when you made a mistake in trading him for what you gotten back, right? So
let's make a correction. He is not just smart; he's intelligent.
No, he probably might be. And I didn't realize this. He might damn near be close to a genius, as far as when you want to start putting up IQs and all that kind of stuff. So he's just so. Right. So I've always kind of known the pushback with him, especially with the Nike stuff or whatever, was like, hey, he has his own mind. He doesn't march to the beat of everybody's drum, right? So you kind of get that, right? And a lot of people are like that. But when they come to talk about the media, it's not the media. It's just Boston putting out bad information on them or trying to create the environment of bad information. And the other thing that Boston's going to have to eat this year, either eat it or win it, one of the two, is this whole analytics thing. And I take the analytics the same way the NFL tried to mediate the running backs for a couple of years till they realized you got to run the ball. You know what I mean? There's no getting around. There's no you can make rules to legislate how hard a wide receiver gets hit and all that kind of stuff. But there's nothing you can do when it comes to running the ball. You got to run the ball to get a first down. You got to run the ball to put a stop. Exactly. So I feel this analytics thing with Boston. You either got to win a championship, the same way New York fired their coach and hired a new one. They had no room for error. Either they were going to get to the finals and possibly win, or if they didn't make the final in favor of money and analytics, you either got to make the NBA championship or you're going to wind up like Phoenix did with not Van Gundy, with what was the coach for Phoenix? He wound up coaching New York.
Monty Williams.
No. He coached in Phoenix, then he went to New York. He had that whole shoot the ball in 15 seconds type thing.
I know you're talking about. D'Antoni.
So D'Antoni was playing a style of basketball that nobody has seen, was coaching a style of basketball nobody has seen, and was like, can you actually win that way, right? Now, some people might say he probably could have won if he didn't get half his team kicked off for the fight. But it did not happen. He went to New York. He tried in New York. It did not happen. I want to see Boston make this analytics thing work. I want to see them shoot 100 3-pointers in a game and make it to a championship. Because that's what you're basically saying by letting Jaylen Brown go. You're saying Tatum in his full year of coming off an Achilles, he's not going to really go to the rack. And you got a whole bunch of shooters there. They don't go to the rack either. So can you win a championship that way? I don't think so. But the only way to make this seem right is now to defame the man's character and tell him, oh, he's too smart. We as black men, we know when people say we too smart, we know what that means. We know exactly what that means. And so, and it's not far from me that it's coming out of Boston. If anybody knows anything about Boston, you know what Boston's all about too. So it is what it is. I hope they don't make they'll make the playoffs, but I hope they get beaten round
Coach
one.
is on you.
Who's it on, Big O?
All right, Coach is on you, bro. Coach
rolls up.
They just look at the fact that Jaylen Brown's vernacular far exceeds mere academics. They looking at Jaylen Brown.
Did he freeze?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go. We got you.
Oh.
Hello?
We hear you, Coach.
Can you hear me?
I think so.
Okay, Jaylen Brown, that vernacular, his vernacular far exceeds. He does not speak in the normal tone of the.
Go ahead, hand. Look like
plebeian. He is far.
He was talking. I don't know if you can hear him. Can you hear him?
Ramification. So.
Coach is using all his big words and thesaurus.
All right, Coach, we can hear you.
Say it again. Say it again, Coach.
Is it out or in? Can you hear?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear him?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Been treated like a mere stepchild. His player is current his former players didn't really his defense. I'm confused by that.
I think Coach was saying he didn't understand how the players in Boston didn't have Jaylen Brown's back or more of his back.
100%.
Right.
But but I look at this though, Bob. I don't think you can have the only person that could really speak out and have his back would have to be Tatum. The rest of those guys don't have the
stature. Yeah.
Correct to say anything. So
they're
going to fall in line. Yeah, the cachet. They're going to fall in line with whatever the management says. The only person that could push back would be Tatum. And I will give Tatum a break. Tatum spent a whole year trying to get back right and get healthy to get back right. So, however that works, but I'm gonna give him a break. Maybe he wasn't involved in what was going on because he spent a year or so trying to get right from his Achilles tear. So I think all of this is just upper management not wanting Jaylen Brown to be the face of the team. They probably wanted Tatum to be more the face, and Jaylen Brown threw a monkey wrench in that equation. But the only way to make it right is to tear him down. And so you can't tear him down because he got any off-field problems. So you can't tear him down there. You can't tear him down on his play because you took a team that probably should have been a lottery pick to a number 2 seed. You can't tear him down. There's no way to tear him down other than to make a shot at his intelligence, which is the lowest thing you can do. That's like making a mama joke. You know what I mean? Like you got no other. It's like a comedian going to perform, and he has no other no other jokes in his arsenal other than talk about somebody's mama in the crowd, then you're not a comedian. You know what I mean? And so Boston's upper management, they screwed it all up. And I hope they get put up the first round. I hope it's I hope they're 4-5 and it's Boston against Philadelphia. And I hope Jaylen Brown averages 25 plus in that series.
All right, Han, what you got, bro?
Yeah, it's about control, big homie, and that's what it was. They had a intelligent black man that they couldn't control. This dude took a team last year that you pretty much were tanking. You were trying to tank. You didn't do anything to try to make sure that they had a successful season, to be honest with you. And he threw a monkey wrench in it, to use a bad term, but I'm going to say what he did. He threw a wrench in the game and got them all the way into the playoffs. He had them in a great record, had his name in the hunt for the MVP of the league. He did everything. He had his team on his back. He did it all. He carried the team. And what you did was you're okay with making Ant-Man a figure that you want to put out front for the league. And this dude has said what he don't want to have nothing to do with his baby that he had, gave the money, so he don't want to have nothing to do with the baby. He cusses it wide open in any interviews. And this is, believe me, I'm just making a comparison. So hear me out. I'm making a comparison. The comparison is, yeah, we'll deal with the unruly clown-looking brother as long as, he can put up the points or whatever. He can act the way he wants to act. And we'll still make him one of the faces of the NBA. But you take a guy who won the MVP in the championship series, was in the running for MVP of the league most of the year, had a team on his back, carried up a Cadillac franchise of the NBA. We ain't talking about somewhere where there's no history of greatness. We're talking about one of the cornerstones of the NBA. He took them and kept them afloat and did everything for them. And he had started to do stuff in a media space that they didn't like, to bring out Black entrepreneurship, everything about streaming, got all the streamers together to do all that. They shut that down. They didn't like that he doesn't hire an agent to do his contract. He goes against the grain on everything. He asks questions that they do not want to answer. And instead of answering the questions, they change the text. They do it all the time. The proverbial you know what I'm talking about. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's the system. We can't beat the system. They're going to find a way to beat you. And if they can't beat you, they're going to tear it down. They've done that from every outside entity that builds and makes a name for himself. They take it away. And this is the point when this guy now, you didn't want him so bad. You traded him in division. How did they think about that? You traded him to a rival in the division because you wanted to wash your hands of him. And he was damaged. He was damaged goods as far as they trade day because everybody knew that he didn't want to be there anymore. You shopped a MVP of the finals. You shopped him. What are you doing at it? This dude here has done nothing but be a great NBA player. He's exceeded. We're talking about exceeding what you might become in the league. He exceeded what he became in the league. What you expected him to become. And you had it. You paid him $300 million.
We talking all around here, but let's not give Brad Stevens a pass here. Let's not act like Brad Stevens has ever been a good general manager when it comes to the Celtics. I mean, he's done everything but, he's come so close to building another, championship team just to break it apart within years. I mean, he to me holds a lot of blame.
I think Brad Stevens' hands were tied on this one. I think this came above Brad Stevens. When they said we going out to Giannis, you got to go out to Giannis, and that's. I think it came. I think it was a little bit above him. I do personally. And once he got to drive the car. He got to go where they tell him to drive it if he want the keys to it. So, like I said, they tore this dude's character down. They can anyone in here honestly say that he's the 7th best player on their team? Can you even fix your mouth to say that? But that's what they came up with.
That's what they came up with. That's why I compare their analytics to like what the NFL was trying to do with running backs. You trying to take a major part of your how you play basketball. You gonna take it out because there's so many things that he does that don't show up, quote unquote, on the stat sheet that he does for them.
Right.
I think the other problem you mentioned, Brad Stevens. I think the other problem too is you got a head coach. As much as Mazzulla has grown, because he got that job by accident when old boy messed around with the manager's wife. So he got that job by accident. But he's another guy who is a better word to say. He'll placate. He doesn't push back. So whatever upper management will say do, he'll do. Because his play calling, he doesn't have a second, if you want to use the baseball term, he doesn't have a second pitch when it comes to how he runs that team. It's all threes or it's nothing. There is no let's run some half court and push the ball down low and back out or whatever. It's come down and just shoot a three. Your turn to shoot a three. You 0 for 5. Well, hopefully the next man that shoots the three will be 3 for 5. If not, if he 0 for 5, we'll go to the next guy. That's why they wins are they either win by 25 or they lose by 45 because he doesn't. Or
they blow big leads. That's the thing. They blow big leads.
Yeah. Because
they don't have the second gear. What you're saying, I agree with you. Big homie, this is what we always say. You got to have a run game in the NBA. You got to have something that you can go to when you need it. And that's what was wrong with the Spurs. I digress. You don't have something that coming out of timeout, I got to get this play. This player is going to give me a bucket or I'm going to get to the line. And when you rely on those deep shots, like you're saying, Asa, you just don't have something to go to all the time. There's nothing there. It's just one-on-one, shake, jack it up. And you need something. You need something that you can depend on. And I don't see it.
So I think we're all saying the person that stirred the pot in Boston was the wrong person. They didn't need Jaylen Brown stirring the pot in Boston. They needed him gone. Nobody else stirs the pot. The general manager don't stir the pot. The head coach don't stir the pot. You don't have any players that stir the pot. So you just left with whatever the new ownership says go.
Yep.
Well, they have made their bed. They better go farther than what they went this year. And the onus is on Jason Tatum. He got to live up to even what Brown did last year. So it's going to be pressure on him.
I just don't see it, Hancock. I don't see a guy coming off an Achilles less than a year, and you can't tell me. Granted, he played toward the end, in the playoffs, but he didn't look 100%. But you can't tell me it's not mental about him wanting to go to the hole, about him wanting to make certain moves. It's going to be more him just taking jump shots. That's just not how you're going to win. Yeah. They got a team full of jump shooters.
Well,
yeah. Well, you know what?
Like I said, I think that go ahead, Big Homie.
Yeah, it's time for Coach's favorite segment. Trying to get up out of here. So we got about 5 minutes. So we'll run through it quick. So Carletta, get ready. It is SRT Fun Bag time.
SRT Fun Bag, go.
No. Think. Since you're thinking now, go on, think. Is it fun? No, sir. No, sir. Absolutely not? Zero fun, sir.
Oh, funny. What in the world is in that bag? What you got in that bag?
Are we having fun yet?
Yes, sir. SRT Fun Bag time to have a little fun. We'll go in the bag. Go ask you 6 questions. You got 30 seconds to answer. 6 provoking questions. and it's gonna be fun. And Coach, come on back so you won't miss it. Carletta said she's already in the building, so let's go. First question: Have you ever been in a school bus fight as a kid?
Yes.
Lord have mercy. I knew you were gonna raise your hand for some reason.
I only got in one fight in my whole entire life. Some kid came up to me and knocked my hearing aid out. And I don't know why that was the one thing that pissed me off, but I turned around.
Oh, it's supposed to. It's supposed to. Yeah.
I couldn't. I think it was to where I couldn't let it go unanswered in front of my friends. So that's the only reason. But yeah, I wouldn't say it was a fight. It was one punch. It was done. But I mean, and then me and the other guy, we got to be buddies as we got older. But it was. I hardly say it's a fight, but that's the only fight I've ever been in my whole life.
Hey Joe, you know
you ever been in the school bus? You ever been in the school bus fight, hand?
No, I helped a couple of them get started though.
There you go. What about you, Coach? You ever been in a school bus fight?
They ain't have no buses when Coach was in school.
Damn. The question for Coach is: have you ever been in a horse and buggy fight, Coach? A horse and buggy fight.
Hey, Asa.
Yes, sir.
Look at
Carletta. I just cut your hair off.
Answer, Ace.
All of
I did. No, I know. Carletta didn't come into her own until she got older. I know she was a goody two shoe when she was little.
That's a shame.
Hancock. Hey Joe, you know them seats on the bus don't move. I had them jokers moving that night. we were getting down.
All right, second question. What was your favorite field trip as a kid?
Ooh.
Fighting.
Ooh, I guess going to the zoo, man.
Going to the zoo? Okay.
Yeah.
Bob?
Yeah, one of them said the zoo. The zoo's always the coolest place to go.
Asa?
I took my first flight on a field trip from Charleston to Charlotte. And so
Dad say the Fern Bank for him.
That was my favorite field trip.
Coach, am I putting you on the spot?
But what you say?
What was your favorite field trip as a kid?
They say when Moses parted the Red Sea.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Coach, you never disappoint, buddy, ever.
It makes no sense. It's just amazing. You can't even try to have a civil conversation without some negative talk. All this unnecessary stuff coming out.
My bad, Coach.
But I do know one thing. One of these days, all I can say
VP say, let my people go.
Wish to get as old as I am, so you just keep living. That's all I got to say.
Let my people go.
That's all I got to say.
We love you, Coach.
Well, y'all a lot of time. All right, next question. Name an artist that when you hear them sing rap, you already know who it is by the sound of their voice.
Michael Jackson.
That's how big.
Michael Jackson.
Okay, we
You
got
said when they
Mike.
sing or rap, or when they
Yeah. Either whether they sing or rap, you already know
Okay.
who he is by the sound of their voice.
Barry White.
Okay. I just knew you
Boy,
were
I'm
gonna say
gonna come out. I'm gonna come out the back with one for y'all. Now y'all tell me y'all don't know this one. Michael McDonald.
Oh yeah.
One,
Tell me you don't know
that's a
his
great
voice.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good one, Coach. Because 100%. You hear Michael McDonald, you know who it is.
Bob, who did you say?
Michael Jackson. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
there,
you said Michael Jackson.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one, dude.
Who is
Tone Loc,
Beyonce?
too.
Oh, Beyonce. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, Tone Loc, 100. Yeah.
As far as rapper, whenever I hear Jadakiss, I already know that raspy voice. I know it's him. As far as singers, I want to say I'm gonna stay kind of new. Anthony Hamilton.
Gotta say either Sade or Patti LaBelle.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Lou Rawls. He said
How about Luther?
Yeah, Luther's a good one too.
Any one of them Leverts, God rest their souls.
Oh, yeah, Luther.
Dang, Levert.
Big Luther.
Yeah, it's still around.
Well, yeah, my bad. The daddy's still around, but all his sons are God rest their soul. But
Yeah.
Gerald
All right,
Levert,
here we go. Next question. Keith. Well, they name Big Z going to start at 5 on him, man.
he's Big Z. He got a group there. That's a good group.
Okay, I got an either or. We'll go down the line. This is gonna be cookout style, either or. We're gonna answer one by one. Ribs or chicken? Y'all just say either one.
Ribs.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Chicken. Gotta go chicken.
Mac and
Yeah,
cheese.
I don't need it no more.
From Memphis? You going chicken from Memphis? I'm gonna tell your people, Hancock. I'm gonna tell on you.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Mac and cheese or baked beans?
Mac and cheese.
This northern voice says neither. I'm not a mac and cheese guy, and I really don't care for baked beans.
We'll have your plate by the door.
Everybody just always tells me. Everybody tells me, now that I live here, everybody's like, you just haven't had my mama's mac and cheese, or you just haven't had this one's versus mac and cheese.
Well, that's southern for you. All right, last one. Collards or green beans?
Oh, collards. Collards. All right, Hancock. You back on the ship. I may not call your folks no more. Collards.
I'm gonna hang my head in shame. I've never had a collard green. Never, not one time.
What? I already said we're gonna have your plate by the door. Now you gotta hang out for us some more. Then we can't. You know what I mean? That's
15 years here in Georgia. Not one time I ever had a collard green. I don't know why I never tried it. Why I never had it. So I gotta say green beans because I don't have another option.
Yeah.
We gotta change that.
But them green beans got to have bacon in them. I don't like plain green beans. It's got to have the bacon. Yeah, it never does. Not one time. I don't know why either.
We can get bacon in them collards too. Don't worry about that. That'll work. You can get that in there.
Look at VP.
But even the cornbread here is different. When I come down here, the first time everybody's like, I get invited to cookout, and everybody got the cornbread. I'm diving in. I love cornbread, and it's savory. And I ain't never had savory.
Cornbread can be different depending on what kind of water you use, Bob. Cornbread can be different.
I like that sweet cornbread. I never had the savory cornbread.
Cornbread can be like bourbon. It depends on what kind of water you got.
All right, here we go. Next question. All right, next question. It's gonna be another either or, but it's gonna be a money question this time. Here we go. Earn $15,000 more a year, but you have to go to work and have to work 1 hour extra a day, or make $10,000 more, but you can work at home. Which one you taking?
$10K.
You work $10K, work from home, or 15 you gotta go to work.
Yep.
I hate going to work. 10K easily.
Yeah, I'd probably be, because I love my bitch. Yeah, it'd be here.
That 15K more a year, HO, once I add an extra 5 hours in overtime, I'm getting shorted.
Yeah, that's true.
I do the math. I'm getting shorted. They're getting
he
5
said
extra hours.
Is different from them.
Exactly. That was it. 10K.
Here's the last money question. Here's the last money question. If there was a rule that says once a year the government is going to grant you one PTO day that is going to pay you double for that one day and give you $100 spending money, when will you take that day and what are you going to do for that day? What part of the year are you going to take it? And then what are you going to do?
Can I add it on to a weekend we already getting?
You can, whenever you want to take the day. It's one day out of the year that you go get paid double one time. You'll get paid double pay.
Make my Labor Day till Tuesday.
So you're going to take off Friday and go all the way to Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
There you go. Okay.
Labor Day on time to start the football season, man.
Yeah.
I'm taking.
Yeah, that's Good Friday to take.
I'm taking wing Wednesday before Turkey Thursday, before the Friday, because then you can maximize a 5-day weekend just by taking the Wednesday before. Because most people don't work on the Friday after. So
you with me, Bob? You with me? Yeah. You trying to find them holidays that are the set holidays every year, right? And then you that's why you with me?
Yeah. You maximize.
All right, so what you go do for that day though? What are you gonna do on that day with an extra $100 in your pocket? We know what
I'm going to Magic City for wings.
Dang. hey. With an extra 100, Bob, you can ask for some college while you're there.
All right, Coach. What say you?
My birthday. I don't ever get my birthday off.
Okay. So you taking your birthday off, and what you go do? You go meet Bob at Magic City?
Eat.
You got extra $100.
Exactly.
We don't need CBS 45 to come up there and see what's going on.
I was just hoping you tag along with me. You got to tag along with me so we can get the senior discount.
Oh, the hits. That right there.
You wanted to that one, Coach. You wanted to that one.
Ready to go, get in the car.
I'm just trying to maximize
I'm getting out.
Here. That's all I gotta say.
I'm throwing it to Kareem.
All right,
he
well,
set you up on that one, Coach.
Yeah, that was a good setup for sure.
The round table.
With that being said,
what are we talking about?
Oh, not that one.
Discussion.
What are we talking about?
Sorry, wrong one. Well, you already know when you hear the music, it is time to roll. Thank you for listening to episode 42. I'm H.O. from Bankhead. Thanks to all the people who stopped through. We had a full house tonight. Yes, sir. I want to shout out to E-Dub for coming through. Thank you, Bob, for riding with us the whole distance. You pitched a complete game tonight, Bob. How about that?
Better than the Braves, that's
yes,
for sure.
sir. Absolutely. Look like they won tonight. I guess there's some type of good luck. But either way, man, thanks for all the attendance, for tuning in and doing their thing, and hope y'all got a whole lot of good news and good things out of E-Dub in this thing. And look like Ziggy Etchefor went for 19-15 in this Summer League game for the Hawks. So can't beat that with a stick. All right, Bob, what you got?
I just want to shout out to everybody. It's kind of cool to have everybody get along. It was good to see Hancock. I haven't seen him in a long time, so good to see Hancock got a chance to hang out with us. And I owe all this to E-Dub, so that's my mentor in the Atlanta sports market. So it's always good to catch up with him.
Absolutely. All right, Ace.
Hey man, one time you HO, one time like Bob said, Hancock in the building. You Bob as well, Mr. Brave, Coach. Always good to see you, baby. In the SRT family, I always have a good time when I'm on.
All right, Coach.
Rest in peace, Coach's internet.
Coach. We gotta send Coach some Cash App money for that internet. What's the Cash App, Coach? You gonna save you some money.
Poor Coach. I tell you. He's still back in the 30s.
Waiting on that pigeon.
Hancock, shout out to H.O.
There you go.
But H.O. the only one didn't have any little joke tonight. But it's coming. Get all y'all. I'm gonna get all y'all.
This weekend,
you know the show said you gonna pay. I got something for you. I gotta be thinking real.
I will miss
Good
it
night,
Saturday because this weekend I'll be downtown doing the outreach. We feeding the unhoused this week, so I'll be downtown with my group. So I'll be y'all on Saturday.
Okay, that's
fun.
Congratulations.
Say it again, Coach. All right, let's get on up out of here, man. With that being said, I'm H.O. from Bankhead. For myself, Coach, Bob, Asa, and Hancock, E-Dub, Smitty, and everybody who tuned in and joined us tonight, especially all attendants. R.I.P. Moms and Pops and R.I.P. BC. This is SRT, and we're going to see y'all next week. Thanks you for listening to episode 482. We out. Peace.